Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 142nd episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by ATEBIT.net and Audio Technica. I am your extremely humble host, Brendan White. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan 8-Bit. And joining me today, the second duo podcast in a row, Saleem Abraham, who can be found at Saleem TD. What is going on, my jousting buddy?
Whoop whoop! I don't know, man. What is going on? Did you call me a jousting buddy?
Yeah, just because it's you and I now on the jousting field.
Just two blokes with a couple of poles.
That's it.
A couple of lances.
You know, couple of horses and a few big poles, and we're going to see who wins.
All that BDE, baby. That BDE.
I had to think for a minute what that was. I'm like, oh, yes, I'm with you. Yes.
I'm really good, mate. I'm really good. How was your week off last week?
It was good. It was really good. Keeping busy in the work and the home life, and took some time to record on the third episode of the 8-Bit Cast. Myself, Jono, Bryce, and Benny coming together to talk all things food from past, present, and future. It was a good, fun episode, and we'll be dropping on the 15th of March, which is pretty exciting. Episode 3 of the 8-Bit Cast, exclusive access at patreon.com/weare8bit. But I had to listen to you and Miss Hart go toe-to-toe on episode 141. It was a good listen.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. I forget what we talked about now.
All of the good things, but there was a lot of passion.
All the good things. Yeah. And no doubt a timeless episode. Go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
if you
one of the best.
Heard it.
When we release a greatest hits album on CD, it will certainly be one of the episodes on. Oh, it can't be CD because we won't fit more than like 2 songs on.
Nah, on a CD you can have I think you can have 10. So maybe we'll be track number 6.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's up there.
You need something strong at the start, strong at the end, and we're kind of just somewhere in the middle there. Track 6.
Definitely our probably first 5 or 6 episodes will not make the CD listing just quietly.
Have you removed those yet?
No, they're still out there.
Ages.
They're still out there.
I should go back and listen to them. Maybe I'm thinking of them I'm remembering them poorly. Maybe they're actually better than I think. I doubt it.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Listeners that are reasonably new or maybe jumped on outside of those first handful of episodes, I probably wouldn't recommend going back because you'll probably see us in a different light, a much poorer light, a much more clueless light. But it was a hell of a good time.
It was a lot of fun. Very sweaty. I remember that. It was very, very sweaty in the room we were recording in. Yeah. Shout
out to Kerbo Studio. Beautiful little sweat box that I helped us make magic in those early years.
Shout out to Turbo Kerbo.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well, Chief.
I'm sure he is. He's always out there hustling. He's always landing on his feet. He's like a cat. Big, sexy, swooshed-haired cat.
He's like Costanza. You just can't take him down. He's always got another out.
Yeah, he's off eating a Snickers with a knife and fork somewhere, starting a candy bar revolution as we speak.
How do you eat it? With your hands?
But anyway, Dream, tell me, what have you been playing, doing, anything you've seen this week you want to bring some light to? Let's break it down.
I'm going to be very quick. This week for me was all about Tekken. So we had Negan and Julia drop between the last episode and this episode. Probably not too much to say, really. Julia's Julia. Everyone loves Julia. Negan is surprisingly a lot of fun, although I do have to say his sound bites when he gets hit and when he does some of his moves, it's a little bit annoying. He doesn't just grunt. He actually says words.
Oh, no.
And if you hit him in quick succession, he'll drop the same soundbite twice, 3 times, whatever, and it just sort of overlaps on itself. So it's a little bit jarring. Such a small criticism though. He's a pretty cool player to watch. He's obviously got Lucille, which is his trusty baseball bat with nails poking out of it. His rage art.
Does he pop anybody's eyeballs out by hitting them really bluntly in the back of the head?
So, spoiler alert, if you've never watched The Walking Dead and that one season where it's like the cliffhanger and he kills someone, but that scene is effectively his rage art. So if he gets his rage art on you, you're effectively like, your character's on its knees, and he says that line, "Oh, this one's got a little bit of fight left in him," and then just starts whacking you in the head with his bat.
Oh, damn. That's intense.
It's pretty brutal. It's pretty much like shot for shot that scene in a rage art. It's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, great content. There's an announcement coming up for Tekken. I think it's possibly March 11 or 12. I saw that notice go up on Instagram the other day. So hopefully we'll get a bit more of an idea of what's to come in year 3 of the game in season 3. But yeah, Tekken. I love it. I also have continued my stupid Nuzlocke challenge. I couldn't get the job done in Pokemon Soul Silver, so I was like, fuck it. Obviously, this game's just not good, so I'll play Pokemon Black.
Mm-hmm.
And I am equally as unsuccessful in this game as well. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm starting to think it might actually be just me. But everyone's dying. Like, I lost 3 guys yesterday, and I've only got 2 badges and 2 Pokemon remaining. So it's not great in the Abraham household at the moment. My Pokemon are all dying around me, and it's just sad times everywhere. You
need to pick up the phone and call those couple of NPCs, because they seem to have the old Nuzlocke challenge, not really on lockdown, but they're seasoned professionals of this sort of subgenre, and they seem to have a little bit more survivability than the old Saleem Dream Team.
Yeah, they routinely make it at least to like the last, like the Pokemon League, and I'm stuck losing men on Route 32 in between one city and another. Anyway, so if I have something more positive to talk about in Nuzlocke, you'll hear about it again, but I think this is where I fall off the Nuzlocke train.
Oh wow, you're bowing out
from here. Well, I'm gonna keep trying, but I can't keep coming back to this show and being like, yeah, more guys died, I failed again, sorry dad. You know, that's not going to work. So I don't know. I'll change tact and see what happens.
A little disheartening. Like we thought and expected more of you in this Nuzlocke realm, but you know what? Mistakes happen, and we know not to hedge our bets against you in this space again.
I needed that, actually. Nothing motivates me more than when people are railing against me. So maybe I'll actually win now, Brendan.
Oh, see, reverse psychology. When the chips are down.
When the chips are down, I step up.
Going all in. That's a poker metaphor.
Yeah, I don't know if I got that quite right. But anyway, that's me for the week, though. And you have been playing a game that I'm keen to talk about. I've seen a little bit. DMC5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Baby.
So I have beaten this absolute gem of a game during the week. I haven't got around to finishing the video review that I had, for all intents and purposes, wanted to release over the weekend, but it's still technically Sunday morning, so maybe I could get it out between now and tonight. That's me touching wood, listeners, and not in that way, giggity. But yeah, Devil May Cry 5 is fantastic. Like, in the short version, it is so well done. Capcom are on an absolute freaking roll at the moment. 2 back-to-back hits, and we're not even out of Q1 of 2019 yet. Devil May Cry 5, it's following on from sort of the Devil May Cry 4 ending. It's a couple of years after that, so you've got some sort of familiarity with the storyline and some of the characters. Obviously, you've got Dante Nero and the new character V, who is a bit of a dude in his own right. Peeling back the curtain for a little bit here, as we're recording, Dream has just wandered off, and he's just in his jocks today. Strictly jocks. Threw me off my talking points. But Dream and the Max
I still had the fan on and the window open, which are both big recording no-nos.
Dream, you're on fire.
Sorry, mate.
You know, if that was a Nuzlocke challenge, you'd have failed that too. So yeah, but no, man, it is so good. The combat. Anyone that's played any iteration of Devil May Cry over the years knows that the combat and the soundtrack are probably the two biggest core ingredients of what make this franchise special. You know, you're chaining combos, trying to get your triple S ranks on missions, and doing insane chains of projectile-based weaponry to melee combat and back and forth with air juggles, combined with like this crazy pulsing-ass soundtrack of like massive beats or like gothic tones. It's so good. It just keeps the heart pumping. Like you're sort of almost attacking in rhythm and just whooping ass left, right, and center.
The characters all play like super different from each other. I was looking at some gameplay footage. I like V. I like the idea of like this person who's kind of got these NPC summons around him that just romp. Have you got a favorite?
I'm still a sucker for Dante on Nero. Maybe it is because it's just familiar to me. Like Dante's obviously the guy you initially cut your teeth on. And truth be told, V, he takes a little bit of getting used to because he is so damn different. Like obviously his playstyle and his personality, like the other two are more brazen and you know, more dude bro-y college jock humor, where this guy's a little bit more of a straight shooter, a bit more quiet, a bit more mysterious. But I like that he doesn't sort of directly attack the enemy. Obviously, he's got two beasts that he can summon. He's got a raven that he summons that sort of acts almost like his guns, and then this panther that almost acts as the melee stand-in. So it's cool getting that yin and yang where prior, when you're playing as Dante or Nero, you're used to being up in the enemy's face, slashing and shooting till hell comes to town. But yeah, V, it's more calculated with how you go about things. You're sort of keeping more distance between you and the enemy, so it can be a little unnatural, I think, at first for those first few missions when you are experiencing the playstyle changes. But I warmed to him over time, and I liked there was that diversity, because there's I think there's 20-ish missions in the game in total. So you do get sort of different sprinklings of jumping in and out of certain characters. You do have some flexibility to pick in certain missions as well who you want to play as, but he is cool. And I like that they have sort of mixed up that meta to Devil May Cry 5 by bringing this new guy in, because he's a bit of a boss, just this quiet, brooding type of fella.
Nero's punchline move looks pretty sick.
Oh, yeah. Nero's gangster. Like, obviously, he's got the Devil Breaker arm, which can do everything. You can use it as a missile, as a rocket board. You can get so many different variations of this robotic arm. And he's really stepped up. He's sort of probably my favorite guy to play with out of the three now. And he is the most satisfying, I think, to run around as. I like his moveset. I like his variety and just his juggle ability with enemies. You can do so much stuff to the massive assortment of enemies available in this game. I love the enemy models. The graphics in this game are second to none. Like, they're using the RE engine, the engine that Capcom made that first debuted with Resident Evil 7, and now with Resident Evil 2 Remake, and they're using it now in Devil May Cry 5, and holy shit, this game looks good. It looks great. Like, I'm playing on the PS4 Pro, and it does make the old Pro sound a little bit jet engine-like at times. You can hear the fans working overtime to pump all those teraflops, down that HDMI cable. But it looks really good, really good. And one of the big sort of strengths with that RE engine is the sort of facial and the character models. That's one of the sort of the feathers that they sort of place in their cap as far as one of the strengths of that engine. And you can really see it with the interactions with the three leads, or with Lady and the other characters running around the DMC5 universe. It's so good, man. Are you a DMC guy? Have you played much of the franchise?
I played DMC2 on PlayStation 2. Mm-hmm. And that's my only experience with this particular series. But I have like a really good idea of like what it's all about. It's just going hell for leather, killing demons, kicking ass, taking names, that kind of dealio. I did play 4 a little bit at a friend's place once. But anyway, so I have a rough idea about like the game mechanics, what it's all about, but story-wise, I have absolutely no idea. And I was reading that this game, it jumps around the timeline a lot. The timeline's not linear. You're jumping between certain moments in the past and in the future within like it said it was like over a matter of months. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's nothing too where you're sitting there trying to work out, like, it's not like you're watching Lost or something and you're just completely, moot to what the hell's going on around you. But, it follows a timeline of I never once when I was playing this game sort of got confused and went, hang on, where are we up to now? What's going on? Like, the way it connects the breadcrumbs between each of the missions, especially with the cutscenes and general story flow, it makes sense from the jump. And you don't need to have played any of the originals to jump in and understand what's going on. There's no sort of barrier to entry on the story, which is great. I like what Capcom have done with this. Like the fighting styles, there's a bit more weight to them, I think, is a good way to describe it. Like, it's not as fast and free flowing as, say, Devil May Cry 4, but it's sort of somewhere in between. It's sort of just a slight step back. It's still quick as hell, and you're making laser light shows of viscera across the screen, at every instance. But I like that Capcom have mixed it up a little bit and sort of just done slight little changes like that to keep the gameplay feeling fresh.
Cool, nice one. Story wise, is it effectively there's big bad demon coming to town?
Pretty much. You're demon hunters, you're killing demons, you're making jokes. Dante's got like some of the weaponry that he's rocking in this game as opposed to some of the others. Like, obviously they like to sort of just jump into hilarious insanity. Like, he's got a demonic hat, and he's also got like a motorcycle that he can turn into giant chainsaw swords, like stuff like that. It's just it's bonkers, but it works.
Awesome.
And it somehow all fits into the realm enough. Like, they're very self-aware, I think, with this game.
What does the hat do? What is he? Is he throwing it?
Yeah.
He's throwing the hat.
Yeah. But and it uses red orbs as ammunition that you can pick up in game. But it's pretty bonkers.
Sounds like a James Bond villain.
Yeah. On the weapon front, quick little sort of peel back behind the curtain. I wrote this down because I thought it'd be good to sort of share. Mission 11. Go jump online, check out Google, just search for sort of the guide to try and get the double Kalina Ann rocket launchers. They are absolutely filthy, and you can actually, dual weld rocket launchers to do all kinds of chain abilities. And when you are fighting large mobs, the AoE, like in the splash damage that you can sort of pop on these things is second to none. Like, you can sort of change your loadout to have one and then maybe a sword or a pistol to sort of lighten the load between brute force and sort of more precision. But yeah, check out the double Kalina Ann rocket launcher mission guide there. There's a sort of a couple of things you got to do to find like a secret mission area in that level to get it, but it's well worth the investment. And it can add some fucking chaos to your combo multipliers.
That or the hat. That hat.
Yeah. all the
Watch out for the hat.
Or the motorcycle, chainsaw blade motorcycle thing. Like, it is
fuck?
just.
I can't even. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to watch more and play some because I can't even fathom what that actually means. Double chainsaw motorcycle.
Yeah,
chainsaw.
it's bonkers. But this game is really, really, really good, and you can see already from the initial reviews, like, it's getting 9s, 9.5s from some of the various outlets out there. Like, it is getting praise pretty universally out there, and it's one of the biggest probably hack and slash titles out there as far as sort of brand recognition goes, and they've just stuck the landing on this so well.
How much time have you put into it? How much time to beat? would you say?
It depends, like, obviously, because this is a game that sort of rewards replayability of levels, going back and getting the various things in game, or getting the various orbs and everything else that are roaming around the world. So depending on how much of a collector and a hunter you are in this game, like, you could have probably in excess of 20-ish hours. I think it took me about 12 hours to clock the game. Right. So it's not bad. Like, it's meaty. You got your 20-ish missions or so, and then your various sort of replays to try and find the various secrets and stuff like that. So there's a good amount of content there, and it's just hella fun. It's such a fun game to play, and you feel like a badass. It's a feeling you don't get in many games. Like, the other game that I can think of recent note that I've played that you sort of have this level of badass feeling is probably God of War, when you're Kratos. Yeah. And you're just this fucking hulking beast just wrecking shop. Like, and that's got this sort of feeling to it as well, just with more sort of dude bro humor.
Cool.
But it's great.
Cool.
It is great.
It's obviously a recommend.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Like, if you're looking for a game to pick up. Like, it's tough because it is such a massive sort of time for games at the moment, with a ton of massive titles releasing over the previous weeks, as well as this coming week. We've got, Division 2 coming out this week, for example. So it's sort of, you got to pick and choose your battles. But Devil May Cry 5, I could not highly recommend this game enough. Like, it is so good. It is so good. And Capcom, I'm hiccuping here and running out of my voice. I'm getting so excited about Devil May Cry 5. But Capcom, kudos to you guys. Like, you've had been a bit sort of off the mark in recent years. But, if this is a sign of things to come, 2 massive titles within the first 3 months, both kicking ass, crushing it, selling well, doing well. Yeah, I'm excited. But on another related note of things I've been playing, exciting times ahead, people. Actually, this past week, got my 2 first Apex Legends victories. 1 solo rando victory on the Xbox One with just 2 other Joe Schmoes. And then on the PC with Rach and Hideous Adams kicking that ass. So it was pretty exciting. Felt really good. I'm really starting to get into a groove with that game. Are you still playing Apex at all, Dream, or have you sort of fallen off a little bit?
Not for any particular reason. I think the last time I played it, I was playing with my arch rival Moo, who's my Tekken rival. Yeah, we were just arguing the whole time. We were just arguing about jump zone, like jump spots, arguing about where to go, arguing about who should have what weapon. Why are you using the sniper? You clearly don't know how to use the sniper move. Like, just constantly back and forth. And that I think was a solid 2 hours of just yelling at each other. So after that, I've basically put the sticks down on Apex Legends. I will go back and play it. I think it's just been a time thing for me this last week. I've noticed, though, like I said it last week, man, I've noticed that there's been a lot of players dropping off of it from the initial like hype. It's pretty noticeable when you look at things like Twitch numbers. The game's not holding top spot at all anymore, which is fine. Like, it's rare for that to actually happen. I think it only has happened with Dota, League of Legends,
and like CS:GO,
and CS:GO, and then of course Fallout. No,
Fortnite.
not Fallout, sorry. Fortnite.
We wish Fortnite held the top spot because it's a great franchise.
Fallout wishes it could hold the top spot. Yeah, so I know that's rare, but like I think Apex Legends had a glimmer of that, where we thought, oh, maybe this will be the new Fortnite. But anyway,
I'm curious to see, like, obviously on the back of that, season 8 of Fortnite has popped recently, so I think that's probably led to that newfound interest and excitement attached to that IP again, and we've got the Battle Pass coming out for Apex soon, so maybe we will see a positive trend again for that once we see what they're going to play out for that first season. They've got characters that are going to be popping in as well, so new champions, maybe a new map, who knows, because Kings Canyon's a great map, but they're going to need to sort of shuffle that deck a little bit as far as environments and locations go to maintain that longevity. But I don't know. I'm keen. I'm loving this game. And the more I play it, the more comfortable I get with how to play, if that makes sense at all. Like,
who are you maining?
I'm maining Wraith predominantly. But if Wraith gets taken, I'll switch to Bangalore. And if she gets taken, I'll switch to Lifeline. So I've sort of got those 3 as my main rotation. And I'm just learning to play a lot more aggressive. I think with these games, when you've only got 1 life, you naturally sort of stand back, try and preserve that health and make it to the final dance. But at the moment, when I do see enemies engaging or see someone, in the sights down the line or in my vicinity, I'm naturally now starting to push towards them and try and engage. It doesn't always work, obviously. There's people that are a lot freaking better than me at this game, but I'm sort of faring pretty well in sort of shootouts now and doing good damage and getting a few kills a game, which is nice. So, yeah, I love this game. It's just good comfort food.
It is, yeah. And it's like, these Battle Royale games are so easy to pick up and put down. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's kind of like the little bit of gold there with these games. You can literally jump on and play for 10 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, and you'll just have a good experience if you love these games.
Yeah.
And it's always like, it's got that just one more game. It's got that, that little bit of cocaine in there just to keep you hooked. So
that's it.
Anyway.
Yes. So that's what we've been playing. Quick little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, head over to youtube.com/We Are 8-Bit. We've got some video reviews and previews. We've got a Half Informed of Crackdown 3 by Sammy Deej up there. We've got a Life is Strange 2 Episode 2 review up on the YouTube as well. And soon to be video reviews on Metro Exodus and Devil May Cry 5 by yours truly once those edits get completed. So a nice tasty gathering of video content there on 4 current games, some critically praised, such as Devil May Cry 5, Life is Strange 2, some not so critically praised, like Crackdown 3. But give it a look, see what you think. If you do have Xbox Game Pass, you can get Crackdown 3 for free. Also, patreon.com/We Are 8-Bit. For the low price of $1, you can get early access to the 8-Bit Cast, which is obviously our twice monthly conversational podcast featuring various members of the 8-Bit Collective and potentially soon to be people from the greater gaming community coming together to talk all things, not video games, but it's a hell of a time. Episode 2 is available early access now. It should go full release in 5 days, and then on the back of that, we're going to have episode 3 dropping, and then episode 4 dropping on April 1st, starring myself, Dash, and a few others, which is exciting. But if you wanted to throw a little bit more than just $1, we've got 4 other tiers that are going to give you some pretty fantastic perks, limited edition merch, limited edition access to other giveaways and competitions, as well as the opportunity to be immortalized in the 8-Bit family portrait, which is actually just starting to get drawn up now. So you'll see some sneak previews on that over the coming weeks as well, which is pretty goddamn cool. But one last thing before we go into the news.
iTunes Review of the Week.
And this review comes via way a Pineapple 156 via the Australian iTunes charts or the Apple Podcast charts, depending on if you're on platform of mobile or PC. And the review reads, very good. 5 stars. And then the review reads in more detail, very yeet.
What's a yeet?
I think it's sort of like a word that can be used in many regards. Like you can say yeet as in awesome or cool, or you could say that's yeet as in maybe it's all right. I'm going to take it as awesome or cool. Very yeet is like, yeah, we're radical, man. Like we're hip with the kids.
Are we out of touch? It's not like Skeet, is it?
Nah, Skeet's a bad word. Yeah.
Skeets.
Skeet, skis, all those ski types of words are usually negative connotations attached to them.
Yeah. I hope this is a good one. Yeet, not Skeet. Thanks, Pineapple 156.
Yeah. I have never felt older than I do right now trying to describe what the term yeet means, but
definitely showing our age.
Yeah, we're positive people, so we're going to take that as like very awesome, very radical, man. Very lit fam.
You're an absolute legend, Pineapple 156.
Yes, Pineapple 156.
I'm interested to know why you are Pineapple 156. Where does the pineapple come from? And why are 155 other people also pineapple? All good questions, I think.
Very true. Very true. And that's something we may never get answers to. Who knows? Hopefully one day we do. But while we're all dwelling the thoughts on Pineapple 156 and his origin story, be sure to rate, review, subscribe us, as well as all the other members of the hashtag 8-Bit Collective, as well as all the other podcasts you listen to on those podcast platforms of choice, because it takes not much time and means an awful lot to us. It helps keep those emotional lights on in our hearts, keeps us relevant, keeps us tracking in the respective iTunes, Spotify, or whatever charts, because it's the best and it's our lifeblood. So please spare 30 seconds, 60 seconds, depending on how in-depth you want to write that review. Just make it happen, because it means the world to us, and we thank you in advance for doing so. On to the news.
This week's news headlines.
Alrighty, a couple of quick hits for you, Dream. First one. Original PUBG map Wrangle is getting a remaster with building placement and art changing soon. Hashtag, who the fuck cares? Who's playing PUBG anymore? Not me.
Yep. Yeah. Is it weird to have a remaster like 2 years after the game's released?
Yeah.
Is that the right word we should be using? It's getting an update.
This feels exactly like Malibu Stacy with new hat.
She's got a new hat.
You know, the Waylon Smithers of PUBG is waiting for this patch to drop so he can get on it day one and make it happen. But yeah, power to you, PUBG and PlayerUnknown, even though you're still just, swimming in your pool of money. But your game's trash now, son. No one cares.
How do you think he feels?
I don't think he cares. He's as I said, he's probably wearing a suit made of gold bullion. Like, he's just got gold bars hanging out of his ears like earrings.
With a sick Dante hat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to use as a weapon.
Just throws it at people in board meetings.
Like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat. Another little quick hitter. Square Enix's Octopath Traveler, the 16-bit style turn-based role-playing game for the Nintendo Switch, is getting a sequel. Or rather, a prequel. This time for mobile devices, known as Octopath Traveler, Champion of the Continent. I enjoyed Octopath. I still haven't finished it. I've gotten pretty deep on the game, but I've enjoyed it. But I did sort of fall off the wagon. I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other people in the wider gaming community did, just because it was very same to me. It felt like rinse and repeat for the good portion of the experience that I had. But I really liked the art style. The characters were great. Some of the story was pretty good. But it was just, I don't know, it just didn't completely scratch the itch I was looking for. But now you can take it with you on your mobile. iOS, Android, get amongst it. Soon. It's not out right now.
Yeah, soon. And of course, Ali will get another crack at playing the Dancer, her favorite class in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Power to the Dancer.
I look forward to hearing her MA-rated retelling of that character's backstory.
It's part of her charm, isn't it?
So just like, she should be an oral historian. She should just retell great tales using that sick and twisted mind of hers.
Oh yeah,
Miss Ali.
Imagine that. Audiobooks by Ali Hart, and she could just grab even like kids' books, Goosebumps books, and just put a spin on them all.
I would love for her to just like research the Trump administration and then just like do her best to just like talk through all the crazy shit that's happened there. Just something like super serious, like World War II. Like just hearing her be like, and then Germany was like, well, fuck, let's invade.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, and then the American general, after seeing what the fuck went down at Normandy, went, we probably shouldn't have landed there.
Yeah. And then some other stuff happened, and then the Americans came.
And then Tom Hanks came in and saved the day.
All right. That's Ali's Oral Histories, the new 8-Bit Collective podcast, coming to a podcast app near you soon.
And audiobooks. I think we could put it on like Kindles. Oh no, that's not audio. Yeah. That's electronic books.
Audible.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So the next bit of news: Dark Souls creator would love to try making a battle royale game. I had to look at that headline sentence to see if it made sense. Would love to try and make a battle royale game.
Dark Souls creator would love to try making a battle royale game.
It makes sense, but it doesn't, does it? It sounds strange.
It does make sense. I think the apostrophes around love are throwing you off a little bit there, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it makes sense. Maybe...
And so does IGN, because this comes via way of IGN News. And it says Dark Souls creator and From Software director Hidetaka Miyazaki reveals he's got his eye on the battle royale genre. Miyazaki, best known for his work on such titles as Dark Souls and Bloodborne, has revealed that he's not only keeping tabs on the battle royale and live services phenomenon, but that he'd love to have a crack at them someday.
Can I ask, before we go through this one, he is also doing Sekiro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm so hyped for Sekiro, it's not funny.
Yeah. How would he do a battle royale game, do you think?
Samurais. I'd just rip off Sekiro and turn it into like Tenchu, but like battle royale version where 100 or 60, whatever frequency of samurai drop into a map, and you can grab blades, you can grab throwing stars, throwing knives, shuriken, that kind of stuff.
I would like to see how, obviously these titles are made famous just because they're like incredibly difficult. The whole idea behind them is learning through failure, failing until you actually learn enough to overcome the challenge in front of you. So there's not a lot of room in battle royales for repetition. I don't understand how that idea could translate into a battle royale game. I think it's got to be more style. Like
I just sold it to you, mate. Samurai battle royale. Sign me up. Or ninja battle royale. I mean,
I would love a ninja battle royale. We just running around throwing stars at each
yeah.
other.
How good would that be?
Smoke bomb.
Bring out the poison rice from Tenchu. So if that could act, it looks just like a health pack. So there's the risk reward of if you're low on health, you can pick up the poison rice, think it's normal rice and eat it and replenish your HP, or you're eating it's poisoned, lower your HP and potentially die.
I like that. We should make this game.
Hell yeah.
Why are we waiting for someone else to do it for us? We're just throwing money away.
You've got some makeshift game development skills. I have none. I can work the creative side of it, but that's all I've got to add.
I've half finished a Linda course. Yeah. I can get it done. All right, man. Stay tuned.
Let's just sign this episode off right now, and sit down in the laboratory and start putting this thing together.
All we need to do is, based on the fact that we've discussed it here, is just throw a lawsuit at whoever actually makes this game. We could be rich. They're stealing our IP. This is 8-bit, hashtag 8-bit IP.
So this IP was...
Is that legal?
this IP was discussed, confirmed, and created on the 10th of March 2019 at 10:07 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 11:07 a.m. for everyone outside of Queensland. So, patent pending, suckers. This is ours now.
Yeet.
Yeet legends. There we go. All right, so the next bit of news. Sony launches PS4 Remote Play for iOS. And this comes via way of Rebecca Valentine at gamesindustry.biz. Sony has launched the PS4 Remote Play app for iPhone and iPad, which allow users to access and play games on their PS4 from their mobile device. With the app downloaded, users can pair their PS4 with it and then open the home screen, launch and play games, connect to voice chats, and send messages. A PSN account is required and the device must be connected to a Wi-Fi network. For navigation, PS4 controller buttons are overlaid onto the mobile screen. DualShock 4 controllers are not compatible with the app for now, though some third-party controllers may work. Talking Bluetooth controllers, you've seen it done before with a heap of mobile games. And in the past, Sony has allowed Remote Play on the Vita, Windows, and Mac. Though there has been no Remote Play app announced for Android just yet, an Xperia phone version of the app launched in 2014 indicates that one may be possible in the future. What do you think about this, Dream? I know the thought of being able to play Tekken while you're pooing at work, in the office, is probably very appealing to you. What do you reckon?
You're right. It is appealing. It is very appealing to me. I do enjoy a good poo.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag Snap Gaming taken to the next level.
It is. Yeah, it's Sony really upping the Snap game. Look, I mean, this is only obviously a good thing. It just depends. I mean, you and I sort of briefly talked about this as a headline before the show, and you mentioned that when you tried this Remote Play, I think it was probably 18 months ago now. I think when you initially tried it, we were still bloody recording. You were still in Sydney, I'm pretty sure. So it was a while ago. Yeah. You said that it was quite clunky, and it just wasn't really a great user experience on whole. So in that regard, even though it's there, you'd never do it. If it is actually quite smooth, I think that this is something people will certainly adopt. I have always had a hard time, though, playing any kind of game on the mobile where you're using, they'll just print buttons on the screen. Yeah. I play Final Fantasy IX a lot on my mobile, and it's not quite a smooth experience. So maybe a Bluetooth device is the solution there. I think this is only a good thing, though. More games in more places, What do you think?
I'm with you. I think it's great that you can hypothetically take your home console gaming catalog with you on the road. I think that's cool. I'm with you in regards to the UI as far as the controller overlay on the screen. I fucking hate that. The fact that it sort of takes up probably a third of your screen real estate.
Yeah.
And I think because you don't get that tactile feedback when you are inputting those commands, you sort of lose a bit of the the sort of immersion of the game itself. So if you can just get a generic Bluetooth controller, happy days. But yeah, Dream, as you said, I tried this initially on my laptop when I was traveling. I can't remember where I was, but I was traveling with work, so I did the remote play via my PlayStation 4 onto my laptop, and just the latency between controller input and gaming is noticeable. And then there was just so much tear and bleed and just delay between laptop and PlayStation that just made it unplayable for me. I persisted with it for about half an hour, and it was just not a good time. Actually sort of turned me off the thought.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think this will get better over time, though. It's not just Sony that's looking at this, and I'm sure Microsoft, in their own way, and Nintendo are probably looking at this as well, but there are actually other companies and startups out there that are taking the hardware out of gaming by having like hardware on site somewhere on something like a storage farm or whatever they call them. And
a data center?
A data center, thank you. And just shipping out like devices which just give you the bare minimum to be able to remotely stream from those machines.
Yeah.
There's a company called Blade, I think, that's a small startup that's looking at this at the moment. I think that as you know, they can address latency, maybe if servers are closer to your location. And of course, things like the 5G network that's rolling out hopefully is going to solve a couple of these as well, these problems. It'll just get better. It'll get easier and more convenient. So I do like it. And I think it makes it interesting, or it begs the question, what do you do with things like the Nintendo Switch for portability? If portability is solved just on your phone, then you don't necessarily need the Switch anymore. Or like devices like it. Obviously, we're talking in the future.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and some markets this is great for, not so much for the Australian market as of today, because obviously everyone that resides here knows that our network infrastructure is usually pretty freaking shithouse. So being able to get the optimum sort of data speeds for your up and down to make this a feasible service is not quite there just yet. So maybe in a few years when they forego trying to pump internet down copper and actually go, you know what, let's do a fiber backbone and use light to sort of speed up our internet services, it would become more of a realistic offering. Like Europe and UK and United States, this would be great for, because their network, or even New Zealand, their network infrastructure is pretty freaking great. So you won't hear of any of the teething problems that we just mentioned. But yeah, here in Australia, good luck. Good luck with streaming, HD video. With sort of input and output based commands to play video games in real time. It's a great idea, as you said, Dream. Having games accessible to you anywhere on any platform is not a bad thing, but we're just a little behind the eight ball here in Australia. But we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see.
Yeah. It's interesting. Good times, though. Good time to be a gamer, as we say on every other episode, I think. And the last bit of news we want to bring to the Hungry Table this week, EA forgoes EA Play press conference for E3. And this comes via way of Rebecca Valentine again at GamesIndustry.biz. She's been busy writing fantastic content. Yeah, she is beating down doors, breaking open stories, getting the exclusives. Good on you, Rebecca Valentine. Keep them coming. So today, EA... Oh, this article came out 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, EA announced its plans for its yearly pre-E3 Los Angeles event. Plans which did not include the company's usual announcement-filled press conference. This year, EA Play will take place from June 7th through June 9, and will begin on the Friday evening with multiple live streaming events to showcase off gameplay from upcoming titles. On the Saturday and Sunday, EA will hold its usual free-for-everyone FanFest event at the Hollywood Palladium. The event will include hands-on demos of upcoming games and will also allow content creators to stream live gameplay on location. EA's announcements still contain mention of, in quotes, exclusive gameplay reveals and breaking news, indicating that the company foregoing a press conference does not mean the event will be devoid of announcements. Rather, EA indicated that the shift in the event to less talk and more play was to focus on the player communities for its games. So this is not the first time we've heard that this E3 is going to be devoid of press.
It's just going to be like another Microsoft event, basically, at this point.
Yeah, like now we've got no Sony, we've got no EA, we've got some of the other smaller outlets not really having representation there on the big stage at E3.
Do you think Devolver will actually be in E3 now instead of out in the parking lot?
Yeah, see, I think because they're so rockstar, even if they got offered, like obviously they do probably get offered year-on-year space in the hall, they do, you know what, we're not going to adhere to your requirements, because probably they can't have dildo like dicks and stuff in, you know, the LA Convention Center. Probably that's why they do it in that car park, because it's a bit more lewd and crass. So yeah, I don't think they want to sort of toe that company line, so to speak. But yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them on the show floor instead of in the car park 2 doors down from Hooters.
So my power board just made a real sharp crackling noise.
Yep.
So this podcast might stop early if something catches fire in my room right now. I'll let you know.
Okay. Appreciate you.
If you hear yelling, we'll keep it all in. We'll keep it all in the show.
Yeah.
Provided that I can export the file at the end of this fire. But yeah, just letting you know, my life is in danger right now. This is what I bring to the table.
Yeah, I have watched Backdraft a few times. Obviously, the firefighting film starring Kurt Russell. So I do know the escalation process is required that I can step you through to escape that room safely and live a full and wholesome life. So keep me up to date, and I'll step you through it if I need to.
I'm like veering away from it, just in case it explodes. Anyway, let's go. EA not going to be there. Like, I don't get excited for EA titles. I mean, there's not really any.
What do you mean? You're not hyped to see another 20 minutes of Command and Conquer Mobile?
Of course I am. Don't be absurd. No, to be honest with you, and I feel like my finger's off the EA pulse a little bit. Aside from the obvious, usual year in, year out Madden, FIFA titles, I have no idea what's in the pipeline for these guys. But yeah, okay, apparently enough to fill a 3-day event on their own.
I've been to the EA Play event. I was there in 2017, and it was great. Like, it's massive, huge area filled with game stations to play, whether it be recently released games, upcoming games, getting access to demos of certain titles. They had massive sort of people performing. I saw Nas, of all people, American hip-hop artist Nas.
Love Nas.
Did sort of a set of an evening at this EA Play thing. It was so bizarre, but it was so goddamn great. So you see a bit of everything there. I feel for the general public for that weekend though, and luckily I got to jump the queues because I had sort of the media credentials, but I was talking to just sort of random punters in there when I was playing games and things, and that some of them were waiting for like 4 hours to get into this thing. I
don't mean to be like dismissive. It sucks waiting in queues, and I've never waited in a queue in my life to play any game that's like more than 5 or 10 minutes. I like anyone who stays for hours, just the dedication blows me away. Like that's just like a virtue of like a show of patience that I just cannot fathom.
Yeah, like it's admirable. Like you talk to
Absolutely.
people we know and at the various conventions we attend, and some of the people that we know that queue up for 2-3 hours to get 15-20 minutes of hands-on with the game. And sometimes that game's coming out the next month.
Yeah, and let me clarify that. It's not that I get to play any game or jump the queue or anything like that. It's just if I know I have to wait that long, I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just wait a month. I'm not waiting 2 hours right now, or however long it is. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's the con life, son. Any of these gaming conventions and events, there's going to be queues. It's just like, or any convention, not just gaming, concerts, everything like that. It's par for the course, which sucks, but maybe it makes playing that demo feel that much better when you do know that the juice was worth the squeeze. I don't know. I wish we had answers to how we could work out workflow and maximize conventions like that as far as lessening time wastage.
I'm wondering now if I just I'm asking myself like existential sort of questions now. Like, do I care about things enough? Like, will I ever love something enough to wait for it in the way that some people at cons would wait to play a game? Very hard questions. Very hard questions to answer.
That's deep, man.
Yeah, I'm like, this is really fucked up. This is going to fuck me up all day now. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be like, what is life?
We could unpack this on an 8-bit cast soon. You know, it's some next level depth here that we're not used to at the Hungry Gamers, that's for sure. We wait around in the kiddie pool, but we've just jumped into Mariana's Trench right now. Like it's deep here.
All right. Well, I'll come back to you with an answer on that next week. How about that?
Okay. I'll
tweet about it. I'll tweet about it between this week and next week. What is life?
What is life? That is the question, my friend. Okay.
That is it for the news.
Yeah, so that's the news for the week. Did you want to lead off and champion and chair this segment we're going to be debuting here to round out episode 142?
Okay, sure. Last week, I signed off by saying we're working out who's going to be on, and Ali said it was me and you. And I was like, you know what? I want to argue with Brendan. I like a good argument. You know that about me. I'm always happy to argue just about anything. Doesn't matter if I actually have a stake in the thing, if I know anything about it, if I know nothing about it. I'm just a big fan of arguing.
You are the eternal square peg in the round hole.
That's right. Thank you. It's another thing for me to think deeply about. And I guess during the week we were sort of talking about what we're going to do for the episode, and I thought a debate would be fun. And to sell you on it, I just came up with debATEBIT, which is the name. No idea on what we'll actually do. But you and I were talking earlier about like things we should debate, and we decided whether this will be a good idea or not. We'll find out in a moment. But having never played any Shenmue game, having not followed the Kickstarter all that much, having not followed any part of the development of Shenmue III, you and I decided that it might be a good idea to debate whether or not getting on board with Shenmue III would be a good idea, and whether or not you should or shouldn't buy the game when it comes out on August 27th later this year. So we're going to have a good old-fashioned debate. Old school debate, normal rules, classical rules, not this new age hip debate bullshit that we see in the schools these days. First speaker, second speaker, and the such. You and I are going to be for and against. I think I'm for, you're against.
Yes.
Is that right? Yep.
Yes, that is
both
right.
Just decide. I think both of us secretly are against anyway, but I think I've got a pretty good case for the for. And we'll have 60 seconds each to make our case, and then a further 30 seconds afterwards to refute and just basically shut the other argument down. This could be an absolute pile of mess, or this could be some of the most quality audio listening that you will do this year, listener. So we don't know. This could be classical jazz. This could be just fucking a nightmare. Who knows? But Shenmue 3. Do we need to introduce what Shenmue 3 is before we get into this?
I think anyone that's a gamer or have played any form of game in their lifetime should know what Shenmue is. It's a fabled franchise. It has been out for quite a while. Made its debut on the Dreamcast, if I remember correctly. But I'm not completely confident in that answer because I have no skin in the game of Shenmue, just like you, which makes it even better. I really want to stress that neither of us have played any of these games. Know nothing really about it. Have had equally as long to research our arguments here, which was like the 3 minutes in the lead up to this show today. So yeah. Yeah, so we anyone that's listened to a Hungry Games episode knows we play things pretty fast and loose. And it is going to be very evident here with the first episode of debATEBIT. Mr. Speaker, I'm about to start your stopwatch. Do you want to lead us off on the affirmative for Shenmue 3?
Okay, I'm just looking at my points. All right, I'm just going to go for it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, starting now.
Okay, so I think one of the biggest indicators that this game will actually be a huge success is that the Kickstarter was the most successful Kickstarter at the time. It earned $2 million in just under 8 hours from fans. It's raised $6.7 million so far, which means that it's hit a vast majority of its stretch goals as well. So there are so many people behind this supporting this game. That's got to mean something. Shenmue 1 and 2 are just revenge games, apparently.
30 seconds remaining.
All right, Mr. Speaker. So you play Ryu, who's avenging the death of his father. There's a lot of kung fu involved, but the games were quite revolutionary at the time. They had a lot of things that were in games, weren't in games too much later, like it's an open world. They had day-night cycles, quick time events, mini games, and they also had gambling. Now, I'm a big fan of gambling. If you're under 18, you can't get into a casino right now, so this is the closest thing you've got. As I always say, no gamble, no future. So get started young, learn the game. Shenmue 3 will take you there. They have a cool outdoor environment.
Time is up.
All right, I'll end with they have a cool outdoor. Okay, so I think I made a pretty good argument.
You did pretty well. I'll
Thanks,
give you
man.
that. For someone that didn't really know the franchise, know what they were going to talk about, I think you did pretty well considering.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I'm interested to see what you've got to say here. So, all right, this is just your initial argument, and we'll I guess shut down points afterwards. You ready to go? How you feeling?
I'm feeling not overly confident because this franchise is as alien to me as just about anything. But I'm gonna give it a good old college try.
All right, my friend. All right. All right. I'm about to start your clock. You ready?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Shenmue III. Announced in 2015, I should say, via way of much hype at E3, has been delayed 3 fucking times already. 3 times, now coming out in August 2019 in asterisks. Obviously, you talked about the positive press on the Kickstarter, but it's pretty terrifying when Suzuki himself has said for Shenmue 3 to be a true open world game, the campaign would need to raise at least $10 million. So they're not even there. They're at 80% of the money raised to make this game what it needs to be. And when the founder is saying that he would not be disappointed by a smaller figure, would work within a budget, this game sounds like it's going to be home brand right from the jump. Suzuki, not a telling tale, mate. Get your act together. I think that's about 60 seconds.
That is about. You must be keeping track of that yourself. That's bang on 60 seconds. All right, interesting. 2 points. 2 points you made there.
That's all I need, mate.
I feel like I can shut down 2 points. All right. Well, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go first on the shutting down of arguments? It's 30 seconds. Do with it what you will. Whether you want to, I guess, add to that, or if you want to just find more holes in my arguments. I think there's probably a few.
Okay. I can try it. So have I got 30 seconds or 60 seconds to counter? Because it's pretty lean.
What do you think's fair here? Like we haven't really. This is the first run. Do you think 30? Do you think 60?
Maybe 60. 60 goes quick.
Yeah, 60 does go quick. All right, we'll do 60 seconds. All right, let me know when you're ready. You good?
All right, let's go.
All right, your time starts now.
So first and foremost, protagonist Ryu, martial artist. You are the paint-by-numbers D-grade equivalent of Ryu from Street Fighter. Get out of here. Make a protagonist you can actually care about. The graphics in this game look like they have been around since the PlayStation 2. Anyone that's seen any gameplay, any demo clips, any bloody cinematic trailers would be very, very disappointed. I don't even know what the fucking story's about in this. Like, he's coming back to seek vengeance after someone attacked his dad. Day and night life cycles, they've been around for quite some time, Dream. Day and night life cycles have been around since the beginning of gaming time. Gambling, same thing. Kids, you can jump online right now and play like online poker for free. Free of charge. You don't even have to buy the game or fund it on fucking Kickstarter. Jump onto like PokerStars online. You can get on there for free and get your gambling experience. Massive hole in that debate there, Dream. But it goes back to the Kickstarter money required. 10 million was the goal to make this game good. 7.1 or whatever it is, not good.
That's your minute. I'm like mildly concerned that we're really advocating for people to gamble under 18.
Yeah, that's true.
Just giving everyone creative ways to gamble. Cool. All right, good arguments. Interesting.
I had no idea where I was going with any of this.
Oh yeah, that's just it's a good old fashioned rant. That's all it is. All right.
Tell me when you're ready, and I'll hit the go button.
I'm good. I'm just gonna. Again,
You got 60 seconds to change my mind.
All right, let me know.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Brendan, your first point was that it was delayed 3 times. We all know that anything that is good is worth waiting for. You said that it's only raised $10 million, which is 80% of its budget. But, it's only raised 7 instead of the goal of 10. The initial goal was 2. So all he's trying to do, whatever your man's name is just hit stretch goals now. And it's all about substance over style, mate. It's not about, having the flashiest graphics. It's about what's in there. And everyone knows that Shenmue is all about, like, the little things you can do, like shopping. Everyone wants to go shopping.
30 seconds.
I want to spend my last 30 seconds addressing your point on gambling. You actually can't gamble online in Australia anymore. They've shut it all down, so you can't just jump on and play poker for free, or at least you can't play for money. And everyone knows if you're not playing for money, you're not playing at all. So the only real way to learn the ropes is by using Shenmue currency, getting involved in the Shenmue game. You talked about Ryo being a shitty protagonist. This is a straight up revenge series, man. He's going after his father's killer, and he's looking for Land D. Oh, all right. Well, I'll respect the stopwatch.
You need to respect the Google stopwatch. It is the holiest of holies as far as stopwatches go.
I think not bad. Not a bad little start to a debATEBIT.
Probably not our finest work, but there's definitely some positives to take out of there. I think the biggest thing we need to probably emphasize on is, yes, we do not recommend to try and become a gambler, professional or otherwise, under the age of 18.
Don't put words in my mouth here. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm all about it, man. No, I'm joking. Of course we're joking.
Maybe Shenmue is that environment to cut those teeth on initially before you head down to the casino or some back alley and throw some dice. Who the fuck knows? But I don't know. I don't know who the winner is of this. Definitely not the listeners, that's for sure.
I think we did well for. This is us arguing about something we could not care less about.
Yes, but we brought a good level of passion. That's the great thing of this debATEBIT.
We're all
but
passionate.
yeah, Shenmue 3 coming out August 27th, 2019, potentially. Because, yes, this game's been delayed many times. 3 times so far. Let's see if they can get to the quad and push this into 2020. Or maybe they turn around and say they need more money again. But I don't know. It's a franchise that means nothing to either of us. It means plenty to a lot out there, obviously, hence the support on Kickstarter and things. But I don't know. Who wins this thing?
You decide, listeners. You let us know.
Okay. I think that's fair. That's a good way to do it. They can be impartial and give us their good, honest feedback over who did slightly less worse than the other.
That was a lot of fun. We'll polish the debATEBIT, and I guess hopefully it'll come back soon.
Yeah, and we were talking
one
once
format or another.
Yeah, once we get the full trio back together, I think that'll be a good way to have a impartial adjudicator who can sort of chair these debates when we do bring them out, and we'll add some nice polish to it and make it something to be proud of. But at the moment, Shenmue 3, thank you for being the first victim on debATEBIT. See you in August 27.
We think.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up there?
Again. Yes, we should. Anything you want to say before we close this episode down for another week?
Listen to Death Heaven. I've been listening to a lot of Death Heaven this week. Love Death Heaven.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a good band. Okay. Yeah, they were in Sydney recently.
Did you say Death Heaven or Deaf?
Yeah, DAF.
Okay.
Deaf
Heaven.
Yeah, give it a crack.
We just finished watching all 3 seasons of The Good Place. Great show. Big fan.
Yeah?
I'm all about that. Yeah, we binged the heck out of that this past week. Really, really good lighthearted comedy with some nice sort of heartstring related pulling. I like the themes and the tones that they sort of weave in between the comedy. It's really good.
I know we're trying to wrap up. Can I just say I'm loving Black Monday on Stan right now. That show's incredible. And I actually also have you been watching what's the one with Daniel Radcliffe and
Oh, I haven't watched any of that yet. That's on Stan too, right?
It's called. Yeah, it is on Stan. It's the one with Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi's playing God. The whole thing is that God's trying to just end the world. It's cool. Watch them both. I think they're both good shows. Yeah. And
also get your hands on a copy of Devil May Cry 5. Smash it out before Division 2 drops in the next week. And keep playing Apex Legends. 50 million players. Huge.
Wow.
Anyway.
That is huge.
This has been The Hungry Gamers episode 142. Thank you all for stopping by and giving it a listen. While you're there, head on over to audiotechnica.com.au to check out the best in audio-based equipment. We're talking headphones, microphones, turntables, gaming headsets, streetwear, you name it. It's all there. Buy it all because it is the best and it will serve you well in no matter what aspect of life you want to use this equipment in. We stand by it and have since our inception way back in 2016. So, this has been The Hungry Gamers. I have been Brendan. That has been Dream. Find him at Saleem TD. Find me at Brendan8bit and find us all at We Are 8bit. Until next week, 8bit Nation, much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.